In terms of buying a property, a few stages to go through. Conditional approval, valuation, unconditional, followed by settlement. Conditional approval. Anybody know what we need to do to get conditional approval from a lender? Anybody know what conditional approval means? Would we like to have a stab? Just give it a try. It's quite a small group, all pretty friendly, comfortable together. Come on. Beg pardon? You do in essence have a bank loan. That's very close actually. It's near enough for me. Conditional approval. You actually fill out the application form for the lender, send it in. You haven't found a property yet necessarily. Send it in and the bank assesses your finances and says, I can see that person X wants to borrow 300,000. They earn this, their expenses are that. I think they can afford to repay that loan. Big tick, conditionally approved. Fantastic. One major hurdle out of the way. Okay. Valuation, exactly as its name suggests. Once they've given you the big tick to the conditional approval, then they go out and they value the property that you're looking to buy. And provided the property is at the same value as you're looking to pay for it, you get the second tick. And that generally happens. Once they've given you that second tick, they unconditionally approve you. So your finances are okay, you can service the loan, property's okay, unconditionally approved, you're good to go. Final stage is settlement when the lender actually gives the money to the person selling the property, the final stage. Okay? The first three stages, conditional, valuation and unconditional, generally take about a week each, thereabouts. We can get it done quicker, but it would be reasonable to suggest a week each. So about 3 weeks to get you to an unconditional approval stage. Why is that relevant? I'll tell you why it's relevant. Because my suggestion to you guys, particularly the first home buyers, but it's applicable to everybody, okay, is I would strongly advise you to get your mortgage pre-approved before you actually begin. What does pre-approval mean? Anybody know? Has anybody done pre-approval before? Yeah? I'm sorry to keep picking on you. You're just a nice man who's talking. It makes me feel more involved.
Well, you can basically find out exactly how much you can borrow. Therefore, you can go and look for the property that you can afford. You're a man.
Exactly that. Exactly that. So pre-approval is when the bank actually conditionally approves you. You actually fill the application form in. I would like to borrow 300 grand, please. This is what I earn. This is what my expenses are. Send it in. Haven't found a property yet. Bank says, yep, we've pre-approved you. You've got a conditional approval to $300,000. You can now go and buy a property for $300,000. Okay? Your finances have been approved. Why is that beneficial for you? Why is that beneficial for you?
So you don't have to play with what your budget is, I suppose.
Yeah, so you've got a lot of confidence, haven't you? You know exactly how much you can afford because the bank have said you can actually do this. Yeah, you can go and borrow $300,000. That's great. So, what's it like from a negotiating perspective? Pretty positive? Put it like this. I'm selling my property. Okay? This lady here comes to see me and she says that she'd actually like to buy the property, but she hasn't been pre-approved as of yet. So we don't know necessarily whether the bank will lend her the money. Okay? Whereas this gentleman comes to see me and he is pre-approved. The bank have said to him that they will lend him $300,000. Okay? Which of the two am I most likely to sell my property to? Clearly the gentleman, because of the fact being that we know he can already access this money. What's the other reason for being pre-approved? How long does it take to get conditional approval? It takes one week to get conditional approval. So this guy is now 1 week ahead of this lady. So that's great news. I can sell the property quicker as well. Okay? And this gentleman, okay, while he's been looking for properties, he's had his application form being in and being assessed. So he doesn't need to worry about that. Unlike other people who phone me up and they say, look, and this happens quite regularly. Neil, I found a property I want to buy. Fantastic, great news. Okay. You've put a subject to finance clause in there. Does everyone know what a subject to finance clause is? Does anyone not know? Subject to finance. Good, okay. Do you know how I learned about subject to finance? Because I didn't put one in. Oh yeah, that's a big learning. Subject to finance clause basically says, look, I'll buy your property provided the lenders will actually finance me. So if you don't put a subject to finance clause into your contract, you're in essence saying that you're going to buy that property and it doesn't matter what the lender says, i.e. you need to find that money from wherever. So if the lender didn't approve you and you've agreed to buy a $300,000 property, you'll be expected to give $300,000 across, or more likely to be the deposit you would default. Okay? So when you're actually out looking for property, why not get yourself pre-approved? Get all that stage, all that kind of stressful bit out of the way. Rather than doing what they do, phone me up, say, I've bought the property, Neil, fantastic. Have you put the subject to finance clause in? Yes, I have. How long did you put in to get this finance all out? How long a subject to finance clause did you put in? Well, I've no idea, Neil. in the respect being I didn't know what to put in, so I asked the agent. And what did the agent tell you? The agent said, oh, 2 or 3 days, something like that, that'll be fine. Because clearly the agent wants you to get the property sold as quickly as possible. Downside of which, they come and see me and they say, Neil, I've agreed to buy this property with my finance being in place in 2 or 3 days' time, and it takes generally 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, 2 or 3 weeks to get to the unconditional because I want to go out and value it as well. Okay, so get pre-approved. Takes a lot of the stress out because you can get pre-approved while you're looking for property. Okay, and while you're looking for property, you're not really too worried. Okay? It's not causing you a great deal of stress. Okay, while those things are being assessed. Different to buying a property and now having to go to the lender and seeing if the lender will actually lend you that money.